Everybody load up, load it up, load it up.
How are you, my friend?
I'm good, babe. So listen, my video looks clear and I sound like I'm right in your face. I sound right there, present and
You sound
accounted for.
amazing. I don't know why you
All
feel.
right.
I know you got a new mic.
Well, because you know what
Please.
happened? You know what happened 2 Mondays ago? We've been doing the show in the studio. 2 Mondays ago, for the fun of it, Phil, Will, and myself we just got on. We had some fun, did some trivia.
When I was on
some
vacation.
singing. Yeah, you were on
Will was
vacation.
hysterical. Yeah, he played a clip.
And when I went back, I didn't realize it, but my microphone had broken. My really good mic was broken. So when I went back to look at it and grab some clips, I sounded like I was way back in the bathroom, and I was so upset because it was such a fun show. And we had so many fun clips. And I sounded like I was, underneath the desk. So I had to go out. I got a new microphone, so I just wanted to make sure it sounds good, Suki.
It sounds really good. It does.
All right. As long as I'm here. So listen, as everybody loads
Sarah
up,
Unsworth, number 1, Jeannie Clay, Cherry Hetrick,
who's coming up?
Penny Davis, Yvonne Burns, Cherry Hetrick, Jeannie Clay giving Oba a shout out.
Oh, they love Oba. Suki, the women
Everybody
love
Oba.
They
Our
love
viewers love Oba.
Oba. And listen, that's really the reason why we're on right now. Normally, and we'll be on tomorrow like we normally are. We have a great show coming up tomorrow. We got Rick Wakeman, the keyboardist from Suki, probably the best keyboardist ever, right? Best keyboardist ever. And we have Rich Aveo, who's coming up tomorrow as well. And, Rich is one of those singing impressionists. So before we do the official start to the show, let me show you guys Rich, because he's got a video, 90 voices in 15 minutes. And he does 90 different voices. Here's like 30 seconds of it. Check out Rich. He's coming up tomorrow on our show, which of course we come your way live at 1:00. But here's Rich. He's coming on tomorrow. Why?
1, 2, 3, 4. Where did you come from, baby?
I kissed her and she kissed me.
Should've known better than to cheat a friend. Waste the chance that I've been given. So
we're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. No matter how hard I try. Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching the stars. Josie's on a vacation far away.
Alright, okay, right. Return to the Mac. What it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit again.
Oh, wow.
How great is he? And that goes on. He literally does that.
First of all, Alphaville to
oh, yeah.
He's on a vacation far away.
And I chopped that up, but he does not, he does 90 voices. So he's going to be on with us tomorrow, and we're going to have some fun with him. But the reason why we're here tonight on this special night back in our parents' basement, Suki, is we were out of the basement, but you know
back
what?
In when we have to.
When somebody special rings in and they got something big coming up, and it's our guy, it's our guy Oba Babatunde. He's got a show. He's, of course, he's on SWAT on CBS.
SWAT on CBS. Mm-hmm.
Plays Pops, right? Hondo's father, played by your guy who you love, Shamar Moore, right?
We don't need to say anymore when you say
that's a fine looking man right there, Shamar Moore. A fine man in his own right is Oba Babatunde. So Oba's coming up on, he's got a couple things going on this weekend, and he's on the show Friday night. So we said, you know what? Screw the studio. But Suki, listen, all we have to do.
What Oba wants, Oba gets.
Suki, I put this up right here, and bingo, it's you and I talking in the studio. There you go. Huh? That's it. That's all we need to do. And there we are. So anyway, Oba's here. We got some great stuff to talk about with him. Listen, I gotta. He's got to do a little of Sammy Davis for us. Of course. Those Obas. I think
he's got to give us another Sammy Davis story.
Yeah, this is the third. I think his third time on.
He's our.
He's our guy.
He's one of the first people that really believed in us and said, You know what, guys? You got something special.
Yeah,
Keep doing it. Keep doing
Suki's
it.
still in the open. He's in the open. He's never getting out of the open. Anyway, here we go. So we'll start the show now. Oba Baba Tunde's coming up. Suki and I, a special Wednesday hanging out edition, a little more casual. I'm on the controls, Suki, which means everything's going to work smoothly today.
I love it, Scotty. Let's do it.
None of this outside producer stuff. Here we go. We started up in 3, 2, 1.
The Suki and Scott Show.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling.
It's musical. It's magical.
Suki and Scott, that's 7 of hearts. Exactly.
This is a sexy show.
Someone's getting some action.
Now, these larger-than-life personalities are on an exciting new journey as they bring you the Suki and Scott Show.
You guys nailed it. You're great. You ask great questions. You listen.
I answered you because I have respect for you guys, and it was a question respectfully put.
The Suki and Scott Show is your one-stop destination for humor,
You like De Niro and Cape Fear. Counselor!
entertainment,
Jesse's girl.
Wonderful.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
and optimism.
You guys have such amazing energy.
Ultraviolet light, it gets in there and it just fights the kung flu, is that right? Okay.
Let's laugh together.
I love him.
The Suki and Scott Show.
That's the best intro for a show I maybe have ever seen.
Really?
Your intro is fantastic.
Oh, baby, we are all kinds of pumped up tonight. What's going on, Sue? Good to see you, babe.
So good to see you, Scotty. And it's so great because we have another great show for our viewers.
Yes.
And things are really going well. I can't believe it's already March.
So it's already March.
The Ides of March.
We have surpassed, we've reached 3 years of doing the show, right? We started right before the pandemic, 2 weeks before the pandemic in February of 2020. We just hit March of 2023, 370 some odd shows, over 750 guests, Suk. And this thing is just rolling along. And ladies and gentlemen, we have so much good news that we're about to thrust upon you. We're just, little dotting I's, crossing T's, and,
A lot of fingers crossed,
We're adding on to some different things, but we have an amazing show today, Suk. Oba Baba Tunde's coming up. Of course, Emmy-winning actor, Oba Baba Tunde, CBS, SWAT on CBS coming up on Friday. It's Friday nights at 8 p.m. on CBS. He, of course, plays Hondo's father, Pops. Just a fantastic actor. I mean, Suki, he has been in pretty much every movie, every TV show ever made. Oba Baba Tunde has been in basically everything that's ever been produced. Anytime someone has a movie, they call him, Scarface, Gone with the Wind. He's been in all of it. And, he's just, he's fantastic. So he's coming up in just a second. He's got a few things going on.
So I want to tell you about a weird but true story because I like these and I can't believe it.
Go ahead, Suki.
So apparently there was this guy, this UK man. He was 59 years old. He tripped over his cat.
Okay.
But he sustained such catastrophic injuries. Get it? I'm not laughing at his injuries, but catastrophic.
Catastrophic. So he tripped over the pussy, huh? Tripped over the pussy cat. All right. I get it.
The cat.
Yeah. The cat.
Anyway, he sustained a broken neck.
Right.
Because the way he fell, he didn't fall downstairs or anything like that. Fractured spine, a smashed rib, and a blood clot to his lung.
From falling over a cat?
All over. It's true. It's an actual true story.
Wow.
Yep.
I got to run something past you, Suk, because I was just reading before we came on. There is a new podcast. We just lost. Oba just left, by the way. We just lost his signal. I hope he didn't get a phone call or something. Oba, come back. I just saw an article. There's a new podcast called She Wants More. And it's hosted by a woman. And here it is, Suki. Why more women than ever are cheating on their husbands?
What?
Why more women than ever are cheating on their husbands? There's a new podcast called She Wants More. And one woman, as it says there, reveals that she keeps track of her potential paramours on a spreadsheet and she's got an untraceable Google Voice number.
Wow.
So yeah, so
well, you know what they said? Spike Lee said a long time ago in the 90s, she's got to have it.
she's got to have it. I mean, I don't know what's
she's got to have it.
Jeannie Clay, Cherry Hetrick, Anita Anderson, Yvonne
Burns, they got to have it.
Can you got Penny Davis,
Elisa Jewell? She's got to have it.
Can you guys explain to me why women are doing so much cheating on their husbands? I mean, there's that show on.
Is it cheating or is it like, just kind of like reaching out to somebody digitally?
No.
Like
this is
conversations.
Physical. No, this is physical.
Oh, it's a physical
sexual activity, Suki. There's that one series on Netflix. They just started season 2 called Sex Life. Have you seen that one?
Oh, I saw season 1 where she was the good wife, got bored, found her old lover, and then
got the old boyfriend. Oh my God, it's unbelievable, Suki.
That's a very titillating. If no one's ever seen it, it's incredibly titillating.
Oh, it's titillating. My wife was watching it today. I walked by to get something out of the bathroom, and said people were going at it on the screen.
It's hardcore. It's a little. It's fantasy. I guess it's fantasy.
Yeah. Well, listen, she's not bad looking. The guys are good looking. The husband, the boyfriend, everybody's good looking.
So Jeannie Clay has an answer. She says maybe the husbands aren't good. They're misbehaving and aren't being treated well. The women.
Well, listen, that's very possible, but a lot of these women who are talking, the woman on the podcast says her husband treats her extremely well. She just has all these fantasies that she's acting on, and she's out there sleeping around.
So Penny Davis said she's married 30 years, never cheated, never cheated.
Good for you, Penny. Good for you, Penny.
Go back to the Howard Stern quote, I guess you're only good as your option.
Good as your options. Well,
maybe this woman has opened herself to the whole fish, this is not the fishbowl anymore. She was in a fishbowl with her husband. Now she's in the ocean and she's swimming. And I guess she's just doing like Dora said, just keep swimming, just keep going.
Key words there, Suki. Open herself. Nicely said. All right, good. Oba's back, so we're going to bring Oba in a second. The other thing I wanted to bring up, Suk, before we get Oba back in here,
is how well we're doing.
Well, no, not how well we're doing. That's a given. That's like you understood. We used to learn in English. You
understood the assignment.
Yeah. J-Lo and Ben Affleck.
What's going on with them? I haven't heard anything today.
They have finally decided on a home in California.
Oh, in Beverly Hills, California.
Beverly Hills, and it's only, Suki, $64 million.
Wow, look at this house.
$64 million home, Suk. Is that unbelievable, that home?
Like $64 million.
$64 million, Suk. You know what the taxes are on that house every year?
I can't imagine. I don't think you're thinking about taxes if you're thinking about $64 million.
Not if you're buying for $64 million. That's Oba Babatunde money right there. Suki.
Yeah, but you know what? Can I tell you something about J-Lo? I mean, say what you want about J-Lo and Ben Affleck. I'm just really happy they found each other again. True love is something.
Suk, I'm so glad it's not A-Rod. So glad it's
Where is A-Rod? He's completely out of the.
Don't worry, A-Rod's doing okay. He's having a better life than you and me. Trust me.
You mean he's not in the basement?
No, he's not in the basement, right? And if he is, his basement's 7 times the size of our homes. Anyway, listen, Oba's here. He's coming up on Friday. SWAT on CBS. We're going to talk to him about that. He's got some new things coming up this weekend, some great stuff. He's on this great show on Tubi as well. So we're going to talk to him about all of it. And let me show you a little bit of Oba, and then we'll bring him in on the other side. Take a look. Yeah, look at that handsome man.
Hey! What's up, guys?
What's up, Boba?
Oh,
Everything is
B,
beautiful.
A. That's our
Hey,
man.
Oba.
Oh, but what's
Man,
happening,
it's
my
sure good to
friend?
see you guys. And congratulations on all the success. You absolutely deserve it. Y'all keep nourishing and watering, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. It's the greatest thing to see. For such wonderful people, it makes my heart really, really burst with a sense of joy and pride unspeakable.
Thank you, Oba. We love you. Really
Oba,
do. We
thank
love
you,
you. You're
buddy.
one of the
Thank you.
earliest supporters of the show, and you just really inspire us to keep going. You know, we love you.
My heart, Oba, my heart. goes out to you.
Listen, Scott, just be careful, man, with the cats,
You know what, Oba? I'm allergic to cats, so they'll never make it into my house. Don't worry about that. How you doing?
That
Listen,
was some story, Suki. Wow.
Yeah, right.
Isn't that crazy? It's crazy.
Oh,
the
man.
cats, and then how about the woman who has what was the podcast?
Oh, the podcast. Yeah. Oh, but I think you ducked out for a second, but there's a new podcast called She Wants More. And it's hosted by a woman, and it's all women come on. I don't know if they even like black out their faces or anything, but they're talking about how married women are cheating so much on their husbands these days. You know, you think it's the other way around, but they're out there living out these fantasies. And listen, you know that
maybe they were. Oh, I mean, listen. I mean, everybody's been living out the fantasies forever. Like I remember the first time when I heard "Afternoon Delight," and I was like, "Mama, what's Afternoon Delight?" She goes, "Baby, don't worry about that. It's okay.
Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight."
Yeah, and have a little afternoon delight, and you think they're having like coffee and tea.
It's funny that you guys would be talking about that because my dear friend in my heart, Liza Minnelli, her birthday is this weekend, Saturday, right?
Okay.
And when we would do the show, she had this song in the show called Arthur in the Afternoon.
Ooh.
And it was a very, very interesting situation about a female friend who would go and see Arthur in the afternoon.
Really? Well, let's see. Wait, hold on. She was in the movie Arthur with Dudley Moore. So maybe was Liza Minnelli sleeping around with Dudley Moore over?
No,
is that what you're trying to tell us?
Dudley Moore was with Susan Anton. Don't you remember that back?
Oh yeah, right back in the day. I remember that.
Yeah, no, this was a number that we did in the show. It's called Arthur in the Afternoon. But it was a lot.
Arthur in the Afternoon. How does it go, Oba?
It's I have my coffee in the morning, my something in the I have my coffee in the morning, my something in the evening, and Arthur in the afternoon. It's a fabulous song. You know what I mean? We did that 1978 when we was doing the world tour, and it was called Liza in Concert, which, by the way, funny enough, they've just re-released the album and that we did. We ran the longest at Carnegie Hall. We broke her mother's record at Carnegie Hall, and we actually did. That was one of the numbers we did in the show.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So what would you do? Are you going to pick up the phone, call up Liza, send her a text? What do you do? Like,
wish her a happy birthday?
Honestly, I just got off the phone with her right before I got on air with you guys.
What? Oh, but get her back on the phone. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, it was great. I just called her to say hey, and she picked up, and we had a great conversation. And she's a very special human being in my life.
That's great. And listen, by the way, while we're throwing names around, we had Keith David on, and we brought your name up, and he went absolutely nuts. He's like, that's my guy, that's my brother,
that's my brother.
He loved you, Keith David.
Oh, listen, man, Keith and I go all the way back, and I call him Duke because he's so elegant. You know what I mean? And but we've done a lot of things together, shows over the years. But Keith and I used to hang out when it was back in New York at the Equity office when they used to post what auditions were happening on the call board.
Wow.
And we would go up there and hang out, see what was happening, and then go to these auditions. You know what I mean? And I was mentioning, earlier, that when I was talking to Scott before we went on the air, this man owns real estate in my heart because he's a great human being. When my mother transitioned, Keith David, out of all the friends that I have, and I appreciate and love them all, but Keith David was the first person at the funeral home, and he wasn't even coming for the funeral. He came with his brother. They were on their way somewhere else, and he said, "I got to go by and check on my man." And that's the kind of human being he is. Love him to life.
What a
my
good
man
guy.
do.
Yeah, and listen, you know what? You see him smiling, and the first thing you think of is something about Mary with Ben Stiller in the bathroom, right?
Yes.
We got a bleeder. So great, so great. What a nice guy. He was really good when he came on. But listen, man, you gotta. I know you're not on SWAT every week as Hondo's dad, right? So you come in and out, make appearances, but this Friday, 8:00 on CBS. You're back on, and you must just feel so great when you're out there acting with those guys. And Kenny Johnson was on the show too. Kenny was on.
Yes,
another great guy, and you gotta feel great, knocking around with those youngsters, right?
Oh, it's a lot of fun, and Shamar and I know dear Suki loves Shamar, but what female doesn't love Shamar, But Shamar and I can say, have developed almost, I say this very, very, very humbly, but a father and son relationship. He calls me Pops off screen as well.
Wow,
And,
that's great.
And so it's wonderful. I appreciate his work. I appreciate his efforts. I appreciate his diligence. And he's a very, very bright man. He happens to be a handsome guy, but he's also a bright man. You know what I mean? And a lot of people sometimes they don't look beyond his intellect. And the man is somebody that I enjoy holding the relationship that I have with him. And we have a great time. And so when we come together on the show takes on another kind of energy because, this relationship is what you cannot deny and mask when it's real. So he's dealing with Pops in his own way, but that's Hondo and Daniel Sr., but it's also Oba and Shamar.
Nice.
I love it.
Nice.
Listen, you're such a great person. I was just looking and doing some research. You're actually trying to get your friend petition. You signed a huge petition in Cincinnati for one of your friends to be recognized for Black History Month. Can you tell us about that really quickly?
Yes,
because
Marvin Columbus. Columbus was one of the first dancers. Now he's a phenomenal and a fantastic guy, but born in Cincinnati and has really struggled and worked his way up to. He is ultimately came out of Cincinnati as a pop locker, but he ended up dancing with Michael Jackson. For those of you who are fans of Michael Jackson's work, that Smooth Criminal, when those guys are leaning, and they come back up, right? Yeah. One of those gentlemen is Marvin Columbus. You know what I mean? But he worked with Prince. He's worked all over the world in the United States and abroad. And so, that sense of somebody coming up, he's lived a life that is meritocratic of someone being recognized. Yes. Because he carries himself in a way. He came up, we both are into the Western world, in the cowboy world. And he given me a pair of, just to tell you a little bit more about him, he had given me a pair of splint boots, which is what we put on our horses' legs to protect them. And I said, Marvin, these boots are phenomenal. He got the thing. He said, oh, but what's so phenomenal, man? It's just a boot. Well, from that, he's also in the boxing world, okay? He came up with a shoe that's called Box Runners, which is the things that boxers can use both, because they have one shoe for road work and another one for the ring. He came with a combination of the both that they can use in both and protect their feet. And he created this and went about doing this whole thing. The man is a visionary. And so I when this opportunity came up, I said, listen, I'll throw my name in the hat, man, for you, brother, because you work hard, you're committed. He's also the kind of person that you want to love and meet, because when Marvin is for you, he's for you 100%.
Love it.
100%. He's also a writer now. He's got a movie, which we're keeping quiet, but it's on the way, where he's got a couple of them, but one is on this one of a very famous boxer, Ken Norton. And I'm going to be playing
Kenny Norton.
Yes. And Marvin
who are you? But who are you playing?
His son, Dominic Columbus, was on the show. He's also an actor, and I'm his godfather. And I've been able to help him with preparing him for certain roles. But Marvin Columbus is just a great human being, and if anybody's paying attention and they
He
can put their
deserves it.
hand, he deserves it. And that's that. Thanks for bringing that up, Suki. I appreciate that.
I just love how you support your friends, Oba. Like there's this brotherhood that's out there, and you guys really root for each other to get recognized for the work that you've contributed to the community and the work that has gone unrecognized. So it does get the recognition that it deserves.
And Oba, listen, while we're on the topic of you doing good, let's talk about Sunday, March 12th. Where you're going to be in Tupelo, Mississippi, something called the Love Your Neighbor Project.
Yes.
Right? You're going to be a speaker there at the Civic Auditorium. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, they've been kind enough to invite me to come there and to speak about, love thy neighbor, but it also deals with mental health. It also deals with mentorship. And those are the things that I commit myself and have all along. There was a saying that once somebody heard, says, when you go climb up that ladder and you get through the window, remember to leave the window open and the ladder down so that somebody else can come up through there, which, I know we'll talk about Sammy, but that's what he did for me, and other guys like myself, and so I'm going to be there. I'm the keynote speaker, and I'm coming with everything I got right from the heart to give to those beautiful people there, and to talk about how we can love one another, how we can connect, support, and identify the issues, because people don't understand the origins very often of what we identified. It's become sort of a slogan, mental health, but it's a real thing, and it's something that needs to be talked about, embraced, and supported in terms of how we help evolve and help those that might be suffering this. Each of us has some sort of issue that we might be dealing with where we don't have anybody necessarily that we feel we can talk to about it. You know what I mean? There's a sense of interest in that somebody really cares. And so I'm there to do the very best that I can and to let them know that, yes, I'm doing this thing with the show business thing, but I care. I care about them as well.
And also in the Black community as well. I mean, just to demystify it, and even for men in general. I mean, my son, even, I had to sit there and talk to him. It's like, it's okay to have conversations that are difficult. It's okay to get in touch with your feelings. You don't have to bottle everything up inside. It's okay to reach out and talk to somebody about whatever is happening. I think it's something that we have ingrained in our children, especially our male children, that they have to be and shoulder everything, and they don't necessarily, when they do feel the cracks happening, they're not equipped with being emotional. And I think it's really important what you're doing and the work that you're doing, and mental health, especially coming out of the pandemic that we did. I mean, there's a lot of people who are still sort of suffering from mental health issues, period, loneliness, period, job loss, so many things.
You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct, my love. And you know what? It's in every aspect. I have identified. I've talked with people that are in law enforcement. I've talked with people that are in the armed services. You know what I mean? You go through things, and sometimes you don't even realize that you're experiencing a sense of depression. And then all of a sudden, and like you said, which was so beautifully stated, we're just coming through a period of where people have been locked away from one another. Locked away from one another, the ability to communicate, to connect, to touch, to reach out and hug, to say, hey, listen, I care. It's really something that's very, very important. We are all dealing with a little something. There's no way in the world that you can go through what we've all been through.
That's what makes us human. That's what makes us connected.
And we are talking with the legendary Oba Baba Tunde, coming up. SWAT, CBS, Friday night, 8 p.m. East Coast, West Coast. Don't turn it on at 5. It's on at 8. Oba, listen, man, what is it about SWAT and that, you know, that they've done the movies, right? Samuel L. Jackson was in the movie. When we were kids, you know, SWAT was on TV. The theme song, da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na, right? The theme song. What is it about, especially right now? NCIS and I mean, all of these shows have just been around for such a long time, and they continue to thrive no matter. And crime shows are huge right now. Whether it's streaming or broadcast, everybody loves the crime shows and the cop shows. What is it? We can't get enough of this stuff.
Well, you know what? I think it goes back to the old spaghetti westerns in its modern generation of that. You know, it's good versus evil, you know, and what I love about SWAT is that they've been courageous enough to be able to take on some of the tougher issues, not just these are the only good guys, but that these guys and girls also have issues as they mature in their work. Because, you know, I have a saying, I have a few of them, but one of them is that your do is not necessarily your who. Your do is what affects change in your life, but your who is how you affect change in someone else's life. And so that it triggers back to what we were talking about a second ago, when we were talking about being able to relate to someone outside of what they're experiencing. And that's one of the things that I salute the CBS show SWAT with, because in bringing Father of Hondo in, we get an opportunity to see what's behind the shield. Who is that person when they're not with chasing the bad guys?
Right.
And that was courageous of them. And for the fact that they've allowed me to hang on for 5 seasons, I'm very grateful and appreciative. But to get specifically to your question, that's what I think it is that we all love the good versus evil. You know what I mean? Why does the girl always like the bad guy?
Well, you know what? Speaking of why does the girl always like the bad guy, Oba, let's get back to this for a minute, shall we? Let's get back to Dorothy Dandridge. You
can't get over this, can you? You can't get over this.
But here's the thing. Let's talk about this scene for a minute, because I actually caught it on YouTube, right? I caught the scene. And wow, she doesn't look too thrilled to be there, Oba. And it sounds like your character's trying to convince her that everything's going to be okay. Just close your eyes. Everything's going to work out.
Well, you see, that scene is very important. And I'll tell you a funny story following this part of it. But that particular part of the scene is that this is their wedding night. And what people don't realize is that Harold Nicholas, the longest relationship of Dorothy Dandridge was with Harold Nicholas.
Okay.
And people don't realize that, because he was a star when they met her, but they both were young. He dated her for 4 years and never consummated the relationship. So here it is now on their wedding night.
Oh, okay.
And he does not know her history of being molested by her mother's lover. And so that's what she's resisting. And he's saying, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Now, to get to the funny story, the part of the story is that, you know, I'm basically unclothed in the scene. And, and they have this thing that they put on you when you do these love scenes,
right,
to cover your member, if you will.
Sure.
And it's set up like a male's jockstrap. Well, the only problem is that Martha Coolidge was the director, and I get out in the scene, I get out of the bed, and I hear her say, "Uh-oh." And I said, "What?" She says, "We can see the straps." So all of a sudden, I've got 5 women around me kneeling, going, now what are we going to do to cover this? And I was like, I love show business.
Let's do it again.
But check this out. The deal is, the first AD is going, look, man, we got to get this shot. We got to hurry up. So a woman walks by who happens to be in makeup. And she goes, well, I know what you do. You should do the same thing we do with women when we have to have a backless dress and they can't put on a bra. Said, what? Said, we duct tape their breast up. So they go, well, put the duct tape on him. Well, wait a minute. Put the duct tape on me. So in the scene, Now, I didn't have a chance to shave. Now, I'm gonna tell you, Suki, and all you other women out there, I don't know how y'all deal with that waxing.
Yes.
Waxing, because I'm doing the scene with Hallie, and at certain points I'm like, and she's like, the tape is waxing me while we're doing this scene. So the fact that so that's a little backstory of what went on in that situation with Hallie and I.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah, no, that tape and any part with a little hair on it is all. I went to get a physical the other day, and they did the EKG. And they put it on your legs, and then they start ripping it off, and I'm like, oh Jesus, what's going on?
Oh man.
So
yeah, well,
funny,
this was
man.
duct tape too.
Oh, I can imagine. That's pain. That is pain
God.
for sure.
Newfound respect for you ladies.
Oh man, Oba, that is a good story. I don't think I've heard that story yet. That's a good one. That's a good one for the ages.
That is funny. That is funny.
So
Suk and I
next time you watch that scene,
I gotta go back now.
Oba, I had duct tape on.
That's so funny. I love it. We were talking about Netflix before, and some of the we were talking about this show called Sex Life on Netflix. We were talking about you cheating women out there.
Oh, stop! Men have been doing it for years.
So
decades.
Oba, how about movies like that are older movies that come back around on Netflix and they're popular again? You were in this little flick with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence called Life.
Good one.
And that's like one of the trending movies out now on Netflix.
It is absolutely such a joy. The movie is a brilliant film, and it is one that, from what I understand, it's one of the within the top 10 movies watched on Netflix, and just the last week or so was number 2 of the most watched movies on Netflix. And I can't go anywhere where they're like, oh man, it's you. Oh man. And so there's I always like to give little anecdotes of what's going backstage. First of all, the cast is phenomenal. You got Bernie Mac, you got Bear, you've got Eddie and Martin, great people, Shabaka, and I mean the cast list is just brilliant, right?
Great.
So when I'm in, but Heavy D was in the movie.
Oh, God rest his soul, yeah.
And so, but he didn't realize at the beginning of the movie that that's me in an age makeup. So we pull up, he's sitting in the back, and we're getting ready to do the graveyard scene, and he gets out. He was such a gentleman. He gets out and opens the door for me, and I'm getting out, and he grabs my arm, and I say, "Get the hell off of me with that." And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I just thought, I was going to be helpful." I said, "I don't need your help. What do you think I am?" He said, I think you need the help. Yeah, I know who he is. Your name is Fat D. He said, "No, sir, Heavy D." I said, "No, they call you Heavy because you fat. That's why they call you Heavy." So when we finished the movie and he found out that I was in an age makeup, he came, he said, "Oba," he said, "Sir, I didn't realize." He said, "I thought you was a real old man." He said, and I want to come and take a couple of classes with you. And so we did that while he was alive. God bless him.
God bless him. What a great
another scene. Another part of that movie is when we're trading. We're playing cards, and they hired an older gentleman, and he thought he knew me as the old guy. And he said, "Hey man, how you been?" I said, "Well, I haven't been too good. I've been dealing with a lot of health issues." He said, "You heard what happened to Jane, didn't you?" I said, "No, what happened to Jane?" He said, "She died." I said, "Oh no, don't tell me Jane died. Not Jane." I said, "Was it painful?" So the director comes over, and you two guys know each other? And I said, I'm winking at him, right? I'm going, "Yeah, that's my friend. I've known him for years. I ain't seen him." So that's the joy we had on set.
Wasn't Heavy D the one who sang "Now That We Found Love, What Are We Gonna Do"?
Yeah.
Right?
Heavy D is from the Bronx, Scotty.
Yeah. What can
Heavy
we do?
D
What are we going to do? Roses are red and violets are blue.
Yeah.
The overweight lover. Yeah.
Overweight lover.
Heavy D. Oh my God. Unbelievable.
Oba, I gotta say, when Cheryl Lee Ralph just won, what did she just win?
Elementary school, right? For elementary.
Yes, the Emmy.
The Emmy. Thank you so much. And
Abbott Elementary.
Abbott Elementary. Yes. Thank you so much, Scotty. I thought about you because you guys go back to the original cast of the Dreamgirls.
Yes.
And I just thought about like the road it takes and the speech that she gave, and like you could feel probably all of what she was saying in a big way.
Yes. Well, there's one other little funny story. There's a picture because during Dreamgirls, Cheryl and I were together as a couple, and there's a picture that keeps popping up of the two of us in swimsuits. I had on a Speedo, and we were in Jamaica. So that keeps popping up. So as she's giving the speech, I'm thinking, yes, I remember when we were in Jamaica, and I had the Speedo. But I'm thrilled for her. You know, wish her continued success and happiness in her life and in her journey. And it's like, you know, each one of those cast members, Jennifer Holliday, you know, Loretta Devine, Ben Harney, Clevant Derricks, who is presently still on Broadway now. You know, it was an amazing group of people. Debbie Burrell, Vondi Curtis Hall. Everybody has gone on to continue to represent their art and their artistry. And so it's nice when you see folks that are getting, you know, that at a girl, you know.
Yeah.
So
I love it. I love. Oh, but listen, you have you got a show or a movie on Tubi right now called A Polished Soul. Looks like a movie, right? Hour and 33 minutes. We got a couple minutes left. Give me the quick synopsis on this thing, because I mean, Tubi is great, and this is getting so fantastic critical acclaim and great reviews on this one.
It's actually a beautiful movie that Mike Ray Anderson did. He came to me some time ago. I met him at the National Black Theater Festival in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And he had this idea, and he came together. It's actually based on his life, where he had done something in the early years of his life that he was sentenced to life in prison. And he's come through that system. He's out, and he is doing things, which is what the movie is sort of designed to do, is to encourage one to say, listen, you know what? You can make a mistake, but you can come back from it. You know what I mean? It's not, you know, how you fall down, but how you get up, you know, and so I'm very honored that he asked me to be a part of it, you know, and I did my little piece that hopefully will make people just at least watch the movie and learn and experience from it. So yeah, right on.
All right. And Judy Clay wants to know, Scotty, please ask Oba if he's coming back to B&B, the Bold and Beautiful.
Ah, there he is.
Yes. Well, everybody continues to ask about the Avon family. The beautiful thing about soap operas is that you never are too out of touch to be able to come back. Everybody wants to see the Avons. So write in and say you want to see more of the Avons, and we'll be right back with you.
Oh, but I have a question from me. When are you going to be back on the Love Boat, my friend? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I was never on the Love Boat.
What do you mean? It's got you on the Love Boat, no?
That was maybe a cruise. That wasn't a real the Love Boat. But you know, there are people
that was from the
they've
show.
said that I've been on every single thing that there is. And part of it is true. You know what I mean?
But Love Boat wasn't one of them?
The Love Boat was not one. My friend Ted Lange was on the Love Boat.
Yeah, Ted was on. We've had Ted on. He's fantastic. Little Isaac from the Love Boat. You were also I just wanted to touch on one more thing, because I didn't realize that you were also on Fresh Prince back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
And you played a character called Berry Gordy, which was the reverse
Gordy
of,
Berry.
Oh, Gordy Berry, right? The opposite of Berry Gordy.
Right.
Right. So you were kind of like this music executive with Will there, and you were on a couple episodes. But see, listen, here's the thing. See, Suki and I, you know, we're kind of a big deal. And if we're going to be with Berry Gordy, you know, we're gonna go real thing right there, Oba. We got to go real deal. You know what I'm talking about? So
well, you know, I played Berry Gordy in the Temptations.
Yes, in the Temptations. Yeah, because I was reading, it's very rare that you see somebody play kind of the same person in two totally different movies
genres
or TV shows.
Yeah.
And you I know it was kind of a takeoff on him on Fresh Prince, but then you really played him in the Temptations.
Yes. and he was very kind. I had met him when talking about Keith. Keith and I were doing the Broadway show, pre-Broadway show, Jelly's Last Jam. I played Jelly Roll Morton, and he came backstage and he talked to me, and we had a great time. So now the joke is every time we see each other, he goes, "Oh my goodness, it's Berry Gordy."
I love it. I love it. Oh, but listen, man, before we go, you got to give me a little Sammy Davis.
Sammy,
Jr.
he's been waiting for this.
I need a good minute of
Here
something.
we go. You ready?
Go ahead. Yep. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe I'm on with you guys. You're marvelous, both of you. I honor the fact that you've got my man Oba. He's a cat that keeps me going, because I don't get around much since the passing. But for you guys, I'll do this. Why can't I fall in love? That's enough.
I love it. And listen, give me 15 seconds of Candyman. Come on, I got to hear it.
Oh my!
Who can make the sun rise? Sprinkle it with dew. The Candyman. Oh, the Candyman can. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. There you go. That's just for you, my man. And I mean that from here.
Love it.
Oba Baba Tunde, ladies and gentlemen. SWAT coming up on Friday night, CBS 8 o'clock. And also, you could see this man March 12th at the Civic Auditorium. Love Your Neighbor. It's a mentorship and health program hosted by Project Elect. And it's right there in Mississippi, right?
Tupelo.
Tupelo, Mississippi. M.I. crooked letter.
M.I. crooked letter I.
That's it. On the good times. Oba, listen, man, you're the best. We love you, pal. We love you.
Thank you. I love you too. And I want to give you a special thank you because I know that you guys put this together and you're coming from the basement again, like you said, of your home. But I love you guys and I love the show and continued happiness and success. And I appreciate you. As I supported you in the beginning, I continue to support you now. Continued happiness.
We love you, pal.
Thank you.
Keep watering it, baby.
Thank you, my friend. Little drops, little baby drops.
That's
Congrats,
what it takes.
my man. Oh, but we love you, bud. Come back again, all right?
I will. Thanks again, guys.
Bye, Oba. Thank you so much, sir.
Now.
Oh, man, Suki, what a great guy. Love that,
Gentlemen,
man.
you know what? One day when we go out to LA, we're gonna meet all these people.
When we head west,
we go to LA, we're gonna call Oba, we're gonna have some lunch.
We're calling everybody. Listen, what's his name still owes us a dinner here in New York. Oh my God, I just lost the huge actor we had on from Officer and a Gentleman. What's his name?
Richard Gere?
No, not Richard Gere. He played the drill sergeant. Richard Gere. When was Richard Gere on this show? Did I miss that one? I just lost his name, Suk. Oh, Lou Gossett Jr.
Lou Gossett Jr.
Yeah. We're gonna hook up with everybody, Suk, once we get out of our homes.
Jeff Meltzer Media is on.
Jeffrey's on. Let's see. What do we got?
Jeffrey.
What do we got?
Scotty's happy that everything is punched up properly.
Did you notice the beautiful punching up of the photos? Everything was there right when it was supposed to be.
Jeff's like, gosh darn it.
Anyway, Suk, listen, tomorrow we're back in the studio. We'll be live. And,
we'll be there.
We'll be there. We got, like I said, Rick Wakeman from Yes. We got Rich Aveo. We're going to do, actually, Suk, we're popping on at 12 o'clock to do this. The Christos Andrews, who's 11-time Emmy winner.
2 hours of fun if anybody wants to join us.
Yeah, just join us. We'll be there all day in the studio. Got a bunch of things to do. Let me leave you with Philly Kid. Let me get him up. Hold on. Nobody moves. Nobody moves. I had him.
Stay right there.
I had him.
Scott.
I had him, and then I lost him. Philly Kid. Where did he go? Come here,
Jeff's laughing right now. He's like, "Oh yeah, you think it's so easy?"
Well, this one I have to get off the login. Here we go. Ready? Here we go.
They're gonna put me in the movies. They're gonna make a big star out of me. And we'll make a film about a man that's sad and lonely. And all I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I bet you I'm gonna be a big star. Might win an Oscar, you can never tell. The movie's gonna make me a big star, 'cause I can play the part so well. Well, I hope you come and see me in the movie. Then I'll know that you will plainly see the biggest fool that ever hit the big time. And all I gotta do is act naturally. We'll make a film about a man that's sad and lonely, begging down upon his bended knee. I'll play the part, but I won't need rehearsing, 'cause all I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I bet you I'm gonna be a big star. Might win an Oscar, you can never tell. The movie's gonna make me such a big star, 'cause I can play the part so well. Well, I hope you come and see me in the movie. Then I know that you will plainly see the biggest fool that ever hit the big time. Oh, and all I gotta do is act naturally. When your body's had enough of me and I'm laying flat out on the floor, when you think I've loved you all I can, I'm gonna love you a little bit more. Come on over here and lay by my side. I've got to be touching you. Let me rub your tired shoulders the way I used to do. Look into my eyes and give me that smile, the one that always turns me on. And let me take your hair down, 'cause we're staying up to greet the sun. And when your body's had enough of me and I'm laying flat out on the floor, when you think I've loved you all I can, I'm gonna love you a little bit more. Gotta say a few things that have been on my mind, and you know where my mind has been. I guess I learned my lessons, and now's the time to begin. So if you're feeling alright and you're ready for me, I know that I'm ready for you. Yeah. We better get it on now, 'cause we got a whole life to live through. And when your body's had enough of me and I'm laying flat out on the floor, when you think I've loved you all I can, I'm gonna love you a little bit more. And when your body's had enough of me and I'm laying flat out on the floor, when you think I've loved you all I can, I'm gonna love you a little bit more.